It started when he picked me up and by my face and he slammed me on the couch and he called me a stupid fucking bitch. Squeezing my face, my lips are busting at this point. My mouth filled up with blood, my nose filled up with blood. He's throwing me around. At one point, he slams my head against the bathroom wall. He's spitting loogies in my face over and over. He slams my head against the toilet. He's holding me against the toilet. He's smashing my face against the toilet. He's dragging me all over the apartment.
Y'all, I am so tired of this. I am so tired of this. Like, at this point, I genuinely don't want to be here anymore. My son calls me every morning before his school, and the first thing he sees to start his day is my bruised face. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to do anything.
But the fact... No, they're mine. You already gave them for me.
I don't give a fuck no more. You're
no.
ungrateful, nigga. I
you
don't
just
have
said...
shit. I don't have shit. Do you understand that?
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Fahim, and today we got some more TikTok content. This is a story time about a sister who looks like she got the mess beat out of her by her man. That's what it seemed like. This is a long story time, so make sure you buckle in, get yourself something to eat. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it. I can't believe she stayed through all this, y'all. Y'all can stop and pause if y'all want to read it, though, but I'm going to go back on mute. So when it starts up, my mic isn't conflicting with the volume. All right, let's keep going.
It's been a really long and tough couple of nights, and I guess day or so, because this thing happened yesterday. But I did want to come over here, and because I already posted these pictures, which I know are gruesome and not self-explanatory, I did want to come on here and kind of explain what happened with everything. So this might be a multi-part, not a series, but I guess video, because I don't want to be talking on here for 20 minutes. But I did want to come here and talk about pretty much what happened. Just to start, this is a really heavy source of pain for me. Sorry. It's been really hectic. So basically, long story short, I'll start the situation from when I left town. I decided to go on a trip with my mom. Originally, my sister was supposed to come on the trip. I don't even want to get into the weeds of that and make this about my sisters. I've been seeing comments and their contributions that are extremely negative. It was all relative to this European trip that we were supposed to take. They didn't end up coming, or one of my sisters didn't, and that just became its own thing, which is now why they're, I guess, showing support for this guy. I don't want to get into that. I just leave it to them and their platforms, whatever. But we were planning this trip and I booked the tickets. The reason that I did not want to go to Europe with Ronan is because honestly, I just want to be honest with you guys. He couldn't afford it. And I know that if he was going to come out there and we were going to go to all of these beach clubs and restaurants, I was going to be taking on the bulk, if not all of the financial responsibility, as was pretty standard in the relationship, because he does not have a job. So I was gonna be taking on the bulk of that, and I did not want that. So I did not invite him to Europe, and I didn't think it was a good idea that we even went together, because right before the Europe trip, he had gotten caught cheating with someone like down the street. It was like this big thing, and I don't want to get into that either. But I just did not. I had checked out, and I stopped wanting to be with him. And that is why I stopped posting content with him. I had originally stopped posting content because I did not want to be in a relationship with him anymore. I also had a real guilt in my heart about the fact that I knew what was happening behind closed doors, and I know what I stand for. I know I'm a girl's girl. I know I'm an advocate for I know I'm an advocate for women and empowerment and information exchange and love and honor and all of those things. And what was going on behind closed doors with us did not align with the things that I promote and take pride in publicly. So I wanted to take this trip, and I ended up booking it. He was very upset that I booked it. He wanted me to take him. He wanted me to pay for him to go. At one point, he asked me to put him on my car loan so that he could take out a loan to go to the trip, and he would pay. They could use my car as collateral or something like that. I was like, no, I just want to go by myself. And I ended up going. I ended up booking this trip. My mom ended up coming because all of this fallout happened with my sisters or whatever. And on the trip, I had decided to separate myself from him. Now, I want to start with the day before I left. The day that I left. The day that I left, he actually tried to make me miss my flight. The entire day was... He physically assaulted me. He sprained my toe. I had bruises from head to toe. He just hurt me. And he just kept on physically assaulting me. And again, I think it was because he just didn't want me to go. And I almost didn't even make the trip. I actually was 5 minutes. I got to the airport at 4:03 and the flight left to Europe, to Ibiza, at 4:50. They told me I was originally not going to get on the flight, and I actually ended up getting on the flight because I was crying and limping and no, I planned this whole thing. My mom's waiting for me in Spain. What am I going to do? So they literally let me check my flight. I already checked in the car, but they let me check my bag and such, so we were good. But leading up to me going to Ibiza was hell. I was physically assaulted over and over and over again for hours and hours and hours on end, to which I made my family aware and such. And that, in conjunction with his cheating, in conjunction with his inability to provide or keep a stable job, are the reasons that I was like, this Europe trip is going to be time that I use to reflect, to cut him off. Okay, so I just want to end this part with saying that I decided to go on a trip. I decided that during the trip we would go our separate ways, and the trip was for me to find myself again. And he abused me prior to the trip, the day of me going to the trip. So it just further confirmed that we would never work. And I made sure I called my building before I left because I was able to get him out of my apartment. He wanted to stay when I was gone. I did not want him in my apartment, did not want him driving my car. I took my keys with me. I locked the door. That was a huge, huge, huge fight. Oh my God, it took me hours to get out, but I made sure, and I called down to my building for proof. I have a witness that I told them, do not let anybody in my apartment while I'm gone. There are no authorized guests. There was no authorized guest. Nobody can go in my apartment. Do not let anybody in my unit. And then I flew to Europe. Once I got on the flight, I started texting him. I was very hurt, confused, and lost. I wanted to let him know how I felt, and I kind of wanted him to feel the pain that I felt. And I was just telling him I hate him and all of these things that women say when they're super upset and traumatized. So I was texting him all of those things you did this, you did this, you did this, and I'm so upset and whatever. He was pretty much dismissive about it. I'll probably post the text here. And I just decided at that point and during the trip that there was no more reason for us to speak. We'd been through too much. There was too much abuse and cheating and all of that stuff that went on. So I decided to sever ties. I blocked him from everything, would not let him contact me. He started harassing my mom. My mom also had to block him and tell him stop contacting her. He then reached out to my sisters. My older sister wasn't going for it. My two younger sisters, different story, but form your own opinions on that. I don't even want to talk about it. And so it was finally time for me to come home. I got to my building on July the 12th at, I believe, 10 o'clock at night. And when I pulled up to my building, I was on the phone with my dad and I was talking about how excited I was to be back. And lo and behold, he was already standing in front of the building waiting for me. I don't know how he knew what time I got in. I don't know how he knew what flight. He knew what day I was supposed to be coming back, I think, from when we had talked before. I don't know if he'd seen my ticket. I just don't know. But he knew, he timed it. He was standing in front of my apartment building waiting for me outside. When I didn't even get out the cab. He opened the car door and was like, let's go. He grabbed my bags from the cab driver and he tried to take my stuff upstairs and he told me we're going upstairs. I told him we are not going upstairs, and I told him that I did not feel safe with him going upstairs because I know that he was upset that I had blocked him during the trip, and I knew that things were getting out of hand. And if I got alone with him upstairs in my apartment, that I was going to be further physically assaulted and pressured into things that I didn't want to do probably. So I did not feel safe with him going upstairs. We had not spoken for quite some time, and I told him he couldn't go upstairs. He had my bags in his hands. He starts yelling, shut up. He starts name calling me. He starts grabbing me. The security guards downstairs see him grabbing me. There's 2 security guards, and they immediately try to alleviate the situation. They're like, hey, stop touching her. She said you can't go upstairs. You can't go. There's a huge argument in the lobby. He's like, I'm going. I don't give a fuck. Tell her. Oh, I don't know if I'm able to say that on here. Hopefully that doesn't get flagged. I don't know. I've never done this before. But he's like, I'm going. I don't give an F. Tell her that, she needs to take me upstairs. I just need to get my stuff. Mind you, he told me early on when I'd first left and we were having those text exchanges and I'd locked my door and left the house that he'd called security and they had escorted him into my house and they had already given him his property. He had gone through my apartment, got what he wanted, and left. So this is all in contravention to me calling security and telling them not to let anybody in my unit when I'm gone under any circumstances, to which they agreed to. They didn't care. When I left, they went, used their master key, unlocked my unit, and let him into my apartment. And he was able to take whatever in his things. He is not on the lease, and he is not an authorized person in the building. So I don't know how and why that happened. So when he showed up, as I was coming back from the airport, demanding that I take him in my apartment to get his things, I was confused because I knew that he'd already been in the apartment with security. Allegedly, he was like, oh, they walked with me allegedly, like, to get his stuff. And I know for a fact he was in the apartment, but I don't know if he got anything. I don't know what he did. I don't know what him and security were doing. He's made friends with the security guards at the building, and I guess they had a relationship where they were taking him in my house. Long story short, security let him into my building when I was not there. So when he did come back and meet me and bombard me at the door when I finally got off my flight, demanding his things from my apartment, it was strange because he already had been inside my apartment to get his things. So I don't know. I then, I would not let him in. A entire debacle ensued. I told him, I finally said, hey, I'll go upstairs and get your stuff, because he was manhandling me downstairs to the point where securities had to intervene. I said, I'll go ahead and get it and bring it down, but I do not want you coming upstairs to my door. There are 3 points of security access when you get to my building. There is the concierge desk, the elevator, and once you get up the elevator, which requires key access, there's a middle door which requires further key access to the units. So I'm thinking like, okay, he really can't get to me. I'm just going to bring his stuff back down through the elevator and just call it a day. Well, when I left my apartment and came out of residence, those middle doors, he had gotten up the elevator somehow. I don't know, with the security, I don't know how, but he was standing with 2 security guards, charging his phone on the wall, and then causing a scene, saying that he needed to get to me to talk to me. I handed him his things immediately and was like, gotta go. I turned around to leave, and he starts chasing me down the hallway. Security starts chasing him, so everyone's chasing each other. It's very ghetto, very strange, and I'm telling him I don't want to have a conversation. There's literally nothing to talk about. At that point, I was over it. There's so much that has gone on, so much egregious, nefarious things that have gone on in this relationship. I did not want to talk. Security asked me in front of him, do you want to talk to him? I said no. They said, listen, sir, she does not want to have a conversation with you. You need to go. They had tried to physically restrain him because he was trying to physically attack me. And he stood in the hallway and he was just like, no, it's fine. She's good. I'm not touching her. He always does that. Like, he'll try to be like, oh, he'll put his hands on me and be like, I'm not putting my hands on you. But you are. He told them I'm not touching her, blah, blah, blah. At that point, I slid against the wall. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I think I have a little video clip of that. I'll try to add that to this, actually.
Alright, but I still gotta let you know. You gotta do shit. Look, bro, you gotta do shit. You already put your hand in, it's okay, bro. I don't care.
After the incident with security, they were finally able to get him to leave, and he left. Though he called me all night long, he finally did leave my property. Next thing you know, I go to sleep. I wake up early in the morning. He's at my door. He's pushing himself inside the door. I open the door to see who is outside the door, and he's pushing himself inside. Apparently, he had bypassed security. Or actually, I don't think he bypassed them. I think that they were in on it, because he did say, which was confirmed, and I'll release all of this video footage, by the security guard, that the woman downstairs spoke to him and showed him some group chat between the security guards discussing the incident from the night prior. He also did say that he was somehow able to come up. He went through the elevator, which again requires a security card. He went through the residential door unit, which requires security, and he got to my door. He pushed himself inside, and the first thing he did was try to force himself upon me. I did not want to have sex with him, and I just completely was like over it. I was obviously still upset from the night before. He did not care. He wanted to have sex at that point. I was telling him to leave. I told him I did not want him to be there. I told him several times, and ultimately, like, I guess maybe a couple hours later, like, this went on for a little while, a physical fight started. It started when he picked me up and by my face, and he slammed me on the couch, and he called me a stupid fucking bitch. Damn, can I say that on here? He called me a stupid effing B. And then he just continued to grab my face in the palm of his hand, smashed his face in there, and just kept palming me, snatching me, squeezing my face. My lips are busting at this point. My mouth filled up with blood. My nose filled up with blood. He's throwing me around. At one point, he slams my head against the bathroom wall. He's spitting loogies in my face over and over. He slams my head against the toilet. He's holding me against the toilet. He's smashing my face against the toilet. He's dragging me all over the apartment. I'm actually trying to fight back. I am hitting. I am swinging. I am scratching. But obviously, he's much bigger than me. I'm like 140 pounds. I'm 5'10" though. And he is like 6'3", 200 pounds. So there was a very obviously uneven power struggle there. I continued to swing at him. At one point, I did hit him right here, and he got really mad at that. I realized the more I fought back, the more upset that he was. So he came up to me, he grabbed me by the face, literally by the face and the neck, and picked me up and slammed me on the floor. I believe that is when I got a concussion, as ruled by the hospital later on. While I was on the floor, he then punched me in the eye. My eye's looking a lot better now, but it was like really looking bad. He hit me in the eye, and then he hit me again in the face. So I'm on the floor, my face is swelling up, my nose is bleeding, my mouth is bleeding, and I can't even open my left eye. Literally, the moment it happened, it immediately started swelling, and it was just a mess. From that point, I lost consciousness, and I started shaking, and I just remember begging him to take me to the hospital. I knew that he wasn't going to let me go anywhere alone. I knew he would let me make any phone calls, because he took my phone. So at that point, I just started begging him to take me to the hospital.
Guys, so these are some additional screenshots that I noted from her TikTok. This is an absolutely insane situation, and it's incredibly sad, but I'm going to give my synopsis at the end of the video. I hope that you all are enjoying the story time, but this is crazy. I'm going back on mute, guys. Enjoy.
I'm getting a lot of questions about why I'm telling the story kind of in the fashion I am. I think it's because I am someone who also watches TikTok, and I hate when people just drag things out, and I hate when people like talk really slow, and I typically watch my videos on high speed. I also feel insecure about being a burden on others and taking up people's time. I don't want to drag this out longer than it is, so I'm just trying to like tell it really fast, like get it out, and that be done with it. Okay, so I had to come inside because it was super loud out there. I was just trying to get some fresh air. So part 5. I started begging him to take me to the hospital after my body started convulsing. I had a concussion by that time, and my eye was bulging, lips bleeding, everything bleeding, nose leaking, everything happening. The reason that I begged him to take me to the hospital is because I knew that otherwise he wouldn't leave the apartment, and I wasn't going to get out of the apartment. And I kept on saying, that I'm going to die. Like, you're going to kill me if you keep me in here. Because I don't know. Okay. All right. So, I finally convinced him to take me to the hospital, and he said he was going to take me to the hospital, and he starts he starts looking for things, getting things. I'm like still trying to fight him off me. He's like trying to put me into little corners of my house, like sit right here, don't move, sit right here, don't move, sit right here. Like he threw me over his shoulder. He tried to carry me to the bed, put ice on my eye. I'm just like, please take me to the hospital. I don't want you to give me ice. I don't want any of this. Take me to the hospital right now. He finally then walks out of my apartment with me to take me to the hospital. He grabs my keys. He grabs my phone. He's holding my keys and phone the entire time. I don't have access to it. And everyone's like, why didn't you call the police? He had my keys and my phone. He then walks out to the parking garage, and we walk out to the parking garage. I see a man in my distance that seemed like he was kind of bigger. So I'm like, okay, he might be able to help me. So I start screaming at the top of my lungs. When I see someone, finally, I scream, help, help, help. So the man finally comes over to help, and he then picks me up, throws me over his shoulder, and starts running me back towards the apartment, towards the residential hall doors to get me back into my apartment. I was like, no, I was holding on to everything in sight. I was holding on to doors, my nails are literally feel all loose. I'm like holding on to things, scratching things, grabbing everything, grabbing the floor, grabbing everything, grabbing the door frames, putting my feet in the door frame so that he could not get me into the door. Then the man comes and he's like, hey, what's going on? He starts talking to the guy. He's like distracted or something. I guess like the guy intervened. I don't really know. There was something happened that distracted him that allowed me to get from his arms at that point. If we were sitting right here, directly perpendicular to the elevator. So I run to the elevator. A couple is in there. They run out. I guess they're super scared. He runs in there after me, trying to grab me. I crouch down on the elevator floor, and I grab the bar, like I don't know, it's the support bar, like the pole or whatever. I grab it and I'm holding onto it for dear life. The guy follows us in the elevator. He's like, hey, stop, because he saw like the whole debacle on the floor with him trying to get me through the doors. And I was like, at one point I was laying on the floor. He was like trying to drag me. He was throwing me over his shoulder. He just couldn't get me through the doors back into the apartment because I had already started screaming help, and I knew someone heard me and saw me. So going back, I'm in the elevator and I'm holding on to the pole for dear life, and he's trying to pull me by my legs and grab me and pull me out of the elevator and such. The guy I was screaming for help originally, he came in the elevator. He's like, dude, let her go. I don't know what's going on. You can't do this, all of these things. And he's just like frantically pacing at this point. He doesn't know what to do. I'm talking about Ronan, because he knows like there's someone else there and he can't get me alone again. So the guy was just like, shut the elevator door, get out of the elevator. And for some reason he listened. And so the guy got in the elevator with me. Ronan left out of the elevator, and it was just me and the guy. And at that point I knew that I was going to be safe. I was going to be able to at least get to a phone and make some calls. So I was crouched in the corner of the elevator, and the guy was like, It's okay. You don't have to sit down. Just stand up. Stand up. You're going to be fine. Stand up. I'm here. Just, we're going to be okay. And I was just still crouching. He's like, no, come here. Just stand up. Let go of the bar. You're fine. So I let go and I stood up, and we were finally at the first floor. I walked straight to the lobby desk and I said, hey, I need you to call the police right now. Again, my whole face is dripping. So the girl at the front desk is just looking at me. Another security guard told me that girl at the front desk, she's new. She's quite young. One of the other security guards, and I have the footage, he told me that the girl was younger, she's a young black girl, she's new, and I think that he might have been also cool with her, because he was making security guards friends with them in my building so that he could get access to my unit and such, that she was likely the one who let him up. So when I told her to call the police, she kind of froze, and she just stood there with the phone in her hand, just looking at me. I think there's like a housekeeping knock and I got scared. Hold on. Okay, I heard a knock at my door and my heart dropped. I think I'm just going to end this one right here. So at the end of the day, I begged him to take me to the hospital. He agreed. He took me to the parking garage. I kicked and screamed once I got to the garage because I saw other people. Again, I didn't call anyone or do anything. He had my keys. He had my cell phone. Someone helped me. I fought my way to the elevator. They helped me downstairs to the lobby. I knew I would be able to call the police from the front desk. And this part ends with me at the front desk and the girl at the front desk. I told her to call and she's kind of like freezing, just standing there like this.
He left, and then I guess he must have came back later on because I left at 12.
He came back this morning.
Okay, yeah, see, I wasn't here.
He said he talked to someone. He was like, oh, they said that there's some security guard group chat and they
That
posted a
lady,
video.
it was the lady, because when I came here, it was the lady at the front desk.
And she showed him that?
Yeah.
She said she showed him the group chat that they have with security guards or something like that. And she was like...
Yeah, because you remember I had to make...
There's a big commotion at the lobby at this point. I'm yelling to call the police. Other people are actually saying call the police too. The girl's kind of frozen, and she finally starts dialing the police. He runs around the back of the building, bursts in. He has no shirt on. He's sweating. He looks crazy. He's like, don't call the police. He tells the girl, do not call the police. I'm going to handle this. I'm taking her to the hospital. We're going to handle this together. Do not call the police. The girl's just looking at him. The leasing agent comes down and he's like, no, call the police. Call the police. She gets on the phone with the police. The leasing agents, some other security guards, the people who work there, they took me to the back and they put me in a room. It was like the leasing office actually, and they locked the door and such. They brought me water and they said, we're going to call an ambulance. I didn't even ask for one. They just looked at my face and knew I needed one. The ambulance arrived and they said that I needed to go to the hospital to be checked out. I ended up going to the hospital. They gave me a CAT scan, MRI. I had to get IVs in my arm. It was really terrible experience. They actually gave me morphine because I was in so much pain. At that point, my eye was completely shut. It was really painful. And they also took record of my other injuries because, like I said, this has been going on for a long time. And right before I had even went on my trip, I also had gotten abused. And even, you can't even see it right here, he had like hit me in the chest and I was already battered. So they were just taking record of all of these injuries, including the new ones. And the LAPD came. The LAPD came to the hospital. They asked me what happened. I told them everything. I told them I wanted to move forward with pressing charges. I told them that I wanted a emergency protective order, which I do have. So I do have a restraining order. I am getting it extended to the normal restraining order. He actually tried to call me while I was in the hospital. I did not answer. I told him to stop calling me. And I said, I'm in the hospital, stay away from me. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of everything. I wasn't going to come on social media and say anything, but I woke up the next day after having to go to a hotel. Now, on that, the police and the hospital staff could not release me if I didn't show proof that I had an alternate place to stay. I could not go back to my apartment because now it's just considered a straight up safety issue. We don't know where he is. I know he's like contacting people and such that I know, but we don't know where he's at. He has not made contact with the police. They went to the address that I gave him. He's not there. I don't know what he's doing, but I do know that after getting to the hotel, I've been here for 2 days now. I wake up on social media and he's posting things, and that's basically how we got here. I guess I'll get into that. What he posted on social media was a supportive message from my sister. To be clear, my sister and I had a falling out about the European trip that I went on. Actually, let me make this its own video. So I wanted to speak on this really quickly. I woke up, the reason that I decided to come on social media and say something is because I woke up and he was actually responding, he was posting support for my sisters. This was literally like at 6 a.m. On his Instagram, and my friends, both on Instagram and personal friends, were sending me text messages and stuff and saying, hey, why are your sisters publicly supporting this guy? I have 2 younger sisters, Kayla and Lulu. And I was very confused too. To be very clear, and I'll post it here, me and Kayla had a fallout over her not being able to afford to come to Saint-Tropez after making all of these plans and inconveniencing me. It was very petty and it was whatever, but it ended up happening. We had a fallout. We went back and forth. Since then, she has been texting Ronan nonstop. She was giving him a play-by-play of my trip, which is why I believe he might have known where I was at. And she was just doing a lot of things that were extremely foul, and saying a lot of things that were extremely foul. She was also texting my mom during the trip saying, hey, why are you posting X, Y, and Z? She posted us dancing at the club or whatever. Ronan's really hurt and sad. Mind you, when I left, Ronan was actually with his ex-girlfriend the entire time. So the fact that he was playing the game like that on both sides, that's crazy. He literally called his ex-girlfriend the day I left, linked up with her and had sexual relations with her, confirmed by her. So I don't know why Kayla decided to come to his defense in this way or whatever. Lulu, on the other hand, and this is all just so irrelevant to me, but Lulu, on the other hand, she's literally mad at me because I'm mad at Kayla. So she came to me, cussed me out, went off on me, and was like, don't text Kayla anymore. She just blocked me from everything. And I haven't heard from her since, but she's been commenting in support of Ronan too. So, I mean, it seems like it might be this situation. I don't know. Right before I left for the trip, both of them were staying at my house. They were driving my car. I've taken them on trips. I have paid their phone bills. They've lived with me before. I've literally taken them to Paris, to Amsterdam, to Europe, to Russia. I don't understand where the new animosity is coming from. I see that they're posting like, oh, my family's in support of me. Talking about them like, oh, like, we love the fans. I don't know what this is about. It could be because they both want to be content creators. I genuinely don't know. It's just the least of my concerns. I don't know why after Kayla knowing, and she's texted me about Ronan before, even right before the trip, knowing what he's done and how he's treated me, has decided to take the stance. But it is what it is, and I just realized that everyone cannot be your family. That's it. So I have distanced myself, and I'm just in this hotel. But I think that this is what she wanted. So it's not, I mean, she was texting Ronan's phone saying, let her just leave her, let her come home to an empty house, let her see that she's going to be alone for the rest of her life, just all of this stuff. Like, again, I don't know what this is about. I was helping her with her content creation right before the trip. We had planned the Europe trip together. She just at the last minute couldn't afford to go. She had been upset with her boyfriend about him not being able to pay for her to come to all of these places. Again, I really don't know what the issue is with Kayla and Lulu, but this is the stance that they have taken, and because they've taken the stance, I don't want to be associated with them, and I don't want to hear anything of them. I don't care what I don't know what they have going on, and they will no longer be in my life ever. These are my blood sisters, so again, it just goes to show about family. When my sisters were posting in support of this guy, people started attacking them, and then they put their comments off and stuff, I think. And then I didn't say anything about them at all, but in response to all that, my mom texted me, and she was like, having people attack your family and sisters is not okay. So I don't know. I guess ask her. She's also upset that I was public with this, and she said that I don't need to have my business on the internet, and I have her people calling her, and I need to handle this in private. Okay, so I think that she's cut me off first because she thought that last video was disrespectful. So I'm receiving calls from my family, and also first of all, let me actually start this over. I think the saddest thing for me is that my sisters and whatever they have going on is such a minute part of the grand scheme of things, but it's like everyone's central focus. Not you all, but I guess in my people. So I'm receiving calls and such, and I'm seeing that they're saying oh, we're gonna post a story time with receipts. And one thing that stuck out to me this morning on a call was oh, well, they can say a bunch of things about you in your past, and I don't know, that's their narrative, oh, we can say all of these things and we can tell everybody all of these things, and you've got DUIs and you've got this going on and this, and I can post your receipts, and they've directed people to gossip blogs and stuff. Okay. Post it. Post my life. Post everything I've went through. I'm 31. I've made a lot of mistakes. I lived a lot of life. So post it. If that's what you feel like you need to do to clear your name and justify your actions, post it. At the end of the day, again, I did not say anything wrong. I did not lie. I literally posted exactly what happened with the exact screenshots and the exact timelines per this current situation, and it was only relevant because they commented on his page in support of him, and he reposted it to almost justify his actions. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be part of the conversation. They would have never gotten brought up outside of people finding them on his page and going at them. I've also been accused of sending people to their page to harass, bully, and death threat or whatever. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here, but let's be clear, I never did that. I never told anyone to say anything to them, and I literally have nothing to do with that. Again, they would not be part of any of this if they had not commented on his page and people sent it to me why are your sisters defending him, and he reposted the comments. The traffic was aimed at his page, and that was his only post at the time, was the repost of my family and their comments, as if to say oh, her own sisters agree with me. So has nothing to do with me. I hate that I even have to address it, and I'm exhausted. I'm truly exhausted, y'all. I'm truly exhausted. I'm truly exhausted. I tried to go out with my friend today, and I just did not feel good about the way I look and all of this stuff going on, and I'm very, very sad, and I feel a little bit depressed, and I literally feel I don't know, I'm just having dark thoughts. I'm having very sad and dark thoughts. So yeah.
Y'all, I am so tired of this. I am so tired of this. At this point, I genuinely don't want to be here anymore. I just want my life back. I'm staying in a hotel right now. I am a lawyer. I need to be working. I haven't even been able to go home. My son calls me every morning before his school, and the first thing he sees to start his day is my bruised face. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to do anything. I got on here to tell my story, to talk about, this is between me and Ronan in my apartment building too at this point. I'm not someone, I've never cried on the internet in my life. And I keep seeing more and more stuff. It's I keep having to clarify. I have not spoken at all directly to my sisters since the argument that happened while I was out of town. all of this follow-up, I don't know where it's coming from. How about this? Instead of saying I'm not telling you guys to, how about don't go harass them? Don't go do whatever, because y'all, whatever everyone's saying to them, they're saying that I'm sending people to do this. I'm sending people to talk to their jobs. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to be real. I didn't know they had jobs. As far as I know for a fact, they don't have jobs. Neither of them. One lives with her boyfriend in Germany, who I've never met, by the way. The other one lives with my older sister in Georgia. I don't know anything they have going on. The last time I saw them in person, I was dropping them off at the airport from leaving my house, from allowing them to stay there for a trip. The last time I saw Kayla in person, I literally gave her a Chanel wallet because I had just bought a new one. I don't know where all of this is coming from. And I'm waking up. I've eaten one thing in 2 days. I'm in a place I don't want to be. I just want to go home. I want to be around my kids, but I don't even want to call them because of my face. It's embarrassing to get on the phone. And my son is so sweet. Every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, Mom, you look so much better, Mom." When I got to the hospital, the whole hospital was praying. Literally everybody in the room that was treating me were praying for me. And then I get on the internet, see things. I keep seeing so much stuff about me. It's just not true. So say all that was true. Say you've witnessed all this violence and you've witnessed all this stuff. Mind you, I don't know where this is going. I was with my son's dad for like 5 years. He is the most gentle person. He never put his hands on me in his life. If you witnessed all this as my family, why would you direct social media people to Reddit blogs which are saying things that are insanely not true? They're saying things like I got 10 DUIs, I got my kids taken, all this shit. What are you talking about? If that's the case, why would you be coming to the internet saying, "Oh, we're trying to heal as a family in peace and stuff"? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? To reiterate, the only reason that my sisters or anyone else is involved in this is because I told my story about Ronan. And in his defense, he posted them talking to other people on his page, defending him. He posted them. He put them in the line of whatever. And they put themselves in it by even commenting on his page. Because for what? They know the situation. They know what's going on. They've only met him a handful of times. So now in defense for that, everything, I've not said anything bad about it. I'm not coming on here talking about their business, talking about their life. I literally don't have anything to do with them. I am telling you, I have not spoke to them since that last conversation about them not being able to come to San Tropez. I don't understand why it's going this far, and I'm tired. I'm tired of feeling like the outcast in my family. I'm tired of feeling like everything I do is a problem and being judged, and them telling me, "Oh, get the help you need." What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about? What help do I need? What are you talking? You know what? Actually, I do need help. I need prayer probably. I need medical attention. I do need help. Instead, I'm sitting here alone in a damn hotel room in LA trying to figure out what to do next. And I just don't even want to be here anymore.
And I don't know why you just projected on me the fact that you didn't, this weren't $400, first of all. But the fact,
Give me the.
No, they're mine. You already gave them for me.
I don't give a fuck no more. You're
No.
ungrateful, nigga. I
You
don't
just
have
said-
shit. I don't have shit. Do you understand that? And I still went and bought the shit. I just got the $200 right now, and I spent it.
You just bought the headphones because
Fucking bro.
you
I
just,
don't have my rent.
okay.
And I still bought it right now. So
Ronan.
you can be fine.
Ronan.
You're still bitching about it.
Ronan, I'm not bitching. I'm telling you that you did not. Ronan, first of all, you are the one who broke my headphones. So the fact that
I understand
so that you had
but
to
it could've been
replace
a week,
them.
It could have been it could have been whatever until I had the money and I was comfortable, or at least until I paid my fucking rent. Instead, I said no. I was fucked up, and I went in there immediately and got him.
All right, I'll just give it to you back then. I'll pay for them.
What the fuck is wrong
I'll
with
give
you?
them to you back because look how you're acting.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't want to.
What is wrong with you?
I'm confused.
What is wrong with you?
I'm confused. I'm literally confused as to why you're acting this way.
What is wrong with you, nigga?
Because I don't want to have a conversation with you and you act like this. You don't understand.
What is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me. I feel like I want to go work out right now. That's all I want to do.
You just fucking threw up. Shut the fuck up and sit here and clean the fucking house or something. Put your fucking dishes away. Clean your dishes, bro. Relax. You just finished working out. Relax. Can't process it. You still can't, you don't get it. And nothing up until the fucking headphone situation was any type of no fucking, like there's no way that should make you feel like you need some space from me. There's nothing that happened today besides that shit right there, which I can honestly, it's like I need to control my fucking self. I do, it's fucked up. And I can admit when I'm wrong, but before that there was fucking nothing that happened for you to be acting like this. Act so fucking checked out.
I don't like the way that you speak to me.
I get it. I don't like
You don't get it.
do.
You talk to me crazy every day.
No, the fuck it's not.
You do every day.
No, the fuck it's not.
And then when you talk to me, you call me names. You destroy. Why do you think you can destroy my property? Like why? All right.
Okay, what?
All right.
All right, what?
All right. You got it.
All right, what?
Nothing. You got it.
Bro, stop acting like a fucking kid, bro. Speak.
No, I already told you.
Speak.
What
And I responded to that, bro. And I responded to that. And I responded to that. No, be a fucking grown up.
Get out of my face.
Be a fucking grown
Get out
up.
of my face.
Be a fucking
Get
grown
out of my
up.
face. Get out of my face.
No.
Get out of my face.
Be a fucking grown
Get out
up,
of my
man.
face. Why are you pushing me?
Be a
Get out of
fucking
my
grown
face.
up.
Get away from me. Get
Be
away
a
from me.
Bro,
Get away from me. I don't want to be around you right now.
Bro.
Get away from me. I already just told you that.
No, I don't
Stop
give a fuck.
touching me.
No,
Stop. Don't touch me.
you
Stop.
No,
Stop
this
touching me.
fucking
Get
yelling.
off
No,
of
fuck
me.
that, bro. Be a fucking
Stop.
grown
I
up.
never trying to
Be
get
a
out of my
fucking
face,
grown
man.
up.
Damn.
Be a fucking grown up.
I'm done. I'm leaving.
No, stop.
I'm leaving. I'm going out. I'm going out of the house.
Stop.
I need to go.
Stop. You need to relax.
You need to get
You
your
need
hands
to relax.
off of me,
You
man.
need to
Damn.
relax.
I don't want to be grabbed
You need to
up
fucking
like
relax.
this. Leave
You
me
need
alone.
to relax
Leave
then.
me alone. Leave me alone.
You need to fucking relax.
Leave me alone.
You need to relax.
Stop
You
putting
need
your
to
hands
relax.
on me, Brownin.
You need to
Stop.
fucking relax.
I'm relaxed.
I am not no nigga off the street.
Okay, that's fine.
I am not no. What is
I
fine?
didn't tell you that you were.
This is how you're acting.
I told you to stop. Can you please scoot over? I'm putting away the groceries. Scoot over.
Babe, can you please stop?
I just stop
Can you
grabbing
please
me. No.
stop?
No.
Babe, I just
stop
want us to
pressing
work
me.
and you keep fucking yelling at me.
I don't want.
Can you
I'm not
stop?
yelling. You're the one yelling. You're yelling, and I'm yelling back.
Are you serious?
Just please.
Are you serious?
Just please.
Are you serious,
Are
babe?
you not
Come
gonna
here.
let me go?
Babe, no.
Let me go.
Babe.
Let me go.
Babe, please. Fuck. Baby, please. I'm tired of this shit. I keep telling you to stop. Can we please?
You're telling me to
Can
stop,
we stop?
but you did it.
I'm done. I am done. Okay? I didn't think that shit would.
A lot of you are asking how I even got in the situation, and that is something that I've actually been trying to navigate myself. My healing journey has come with a caveat of self-reflection and also accountability, and I have sat there and thought about what would have, other than the obvious, brought me to this point. I think the obvious is a fucked up family dynamic, whereas there is a lack of support that I have felt, especially engaging with, I feel like, the feminine energies in my house, and I'll actually leave that part there. Also just poor decision making, but I did want to share a little bit more of a substantive background on how this all came about. When I met Ronan, I was working as a full-time attorney, and if you know me, you know that I am an art minor, but a law major, so I went into law, and it really stifled my creativity. I mean, I love the arts and drama and writing and poetry and decor, and I'm able to display that in my design and my home and such, and the meals that I cook, for example, for my kids, and the parties that I throw. But it's really hard for me to have an outlet for that. I was also coming out of a long-term relationship, a 5-year relationship on and off with my son's dad, where the romance had completely sizzled out, and I felt like I was not being treated like a woman anymore. I felt like I was just a mom, and he didn't want to take me on dates anymore or trips anymore, and I didn't feel sexy anymore, and I was just full-time mom mode. And when I met Ronan, he brought that out of me, just transparently. I felt super sexy, super fun. I had never been out to clubs and stuff. Of course, in my earlier 20s, I'm 31 now, I started dressing different. I started really expressing myself creatively through fashion and through perception, and it made me feel very free. So I met someone who was a catalyst to my being able to freely create and show the world my life through my lens. And I felt very safe and protected in that dynamic. I felt early on, I'll say, I felt like I could just do anything, and so I did. I blossomed, I think. And where I think we went wrong is that I just started growing too much. I feel like he had planted a flower, and once others started admiring that flower, he could no longer handle it. So the more people recognized me, the bigger the problem became. Our best days were when we were not on the internet and we just had so much fun going to jazz clubs and just running around LA, like not even spending money, not doing anything. And again, when the world became involved and when people paid me attention and complimented me and admired the way that I've been presenting myself, that's when everything became havoc. I believe like he has and I'm not going to speak on his experience or his story because it's not my story, but from my understanding, there was an abandonment wound, and it was triggered in my finally being emancipated, and he wanted to contain that. And so he felt like I was just going to be someone to leave him once I started gaining traction or people started paying attention to me. This video is just meant to express what I feel like is a more humane approach to the situation, and I wanted to show up here authentically. Like, I don't want to come on here and be like, oh, I'm healed, F-min, I'm looking good. Like, this is such a slow process, but that it requires like introspection and a gauge into as a woman, my self-worth and how I felt about myself and how I related to my femininity and my motherhood and my womanhood and my creativity. And I'm just looking at this from all angles, and I'm just trying to figure out how to best grow from this.
So, what do you guys think about this story time? I think that this is just sad. I think that it's incredibly sad that this sister had to go through this. That there was a brother out there that completely took advantage of her, was beating on her, being extremely violent towards her, was envious of her. I think that all of these things obviously make for a horrible relationship dynamic, and that is seen in this story time. I hope that she gets the healing that she needs and that she deserves, given that she was taking care of that man while he was being so abusive towards her. And I think it's a shame that she came from such a terrible family dynamic that she lacked love and looked for it in a place where abuse resided. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what I think about this whole situation. Her sisters taking the side of the man that was abusing her. Do you know how wicked and depraved that is? Do you know how sickening that is? Your own family members taking the side of somebody who was beating on you, who made you get a concussion, who sent you to the hospital. Your mother not even taking up for you. You know, and that kind of family dynamic is probably what led her to go and find love elsewhere. And as I've always said in previous videos, when you lack love at home and you go elsewhere to find it, you'll come in contact with people who will want to take advantage of you and take advantage of the fact that you are not familiar with what real and true love looks like. But let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys think that she did a wonderful job getting away from this man who was extremely abusive and was extremely tyrannical in their relationship? Or do you guys disagree and think that she should have maybe worked it out and maybe even stayed in contact with her family? Thank you for tuning into this Clacked Out Conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.